and we see the Pacers ready to get to work. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr with Boris Burke on our sideline. Our starting lineup to look at the matchups here and who we'll see for our starting five for both teams. First, for the Heat, Chalmers and D. Wade are the guards. And it's Bosh in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And it's LeBron James. And it's Haslam in at the four-man position. And then for the Indiana Pacers, George Hill at the one, Paul George at the two. And it's Hibbert in at the center, filling out the middle. Then there's Danny Granger. And it's West in at the power forward position.
Well, guys, for the Pacers, it's been a slow and long climb from the Malice at the Palace back in '04. But now, with a terrific young team, fresh off a strong showing in the Eastern Conference Finals, we can finally say the Pacers are back, and they're going to be around for a while, contending for championship.
For the Pacers, ever since that unfortunate night in Detroit, the attendance in Indiana has sagged. They've been at the bottom half percentage-wise, Steve, for the last 9 years.
Well, it's time for the fans to come back, Kevin. This is an elite team. They've got really high character, good guys. Ticket prices are about 60% less than the league norm. One of the best arenas in the NBA, and hey, it's Indiana. I mean, this is a basketball state.
Now here's Hibbert. Shot clock at 6. And George, here we go. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Well, you look at Paul George, my man, PG 24, a young swingman out of Fresno State. Boy, he had a terrific year last season, was the most improved player last season, and a first-time NBA All-Star. You consider how young he is, just turned 23. And he's got the potential to make plenty more All-Star games. And I think he could ultimately be a Defensive Player of the Year at some time in his career.
Both good from the line that time. And for Paul George, the 10th pick back in 2010, what a terrific find for the Pacers.
Well, he was already a good player, but I think the injury to Danny Granger last season created the opportunity for George to really emerge as an all-star. And that's exactly what he did. Dangerous inside and out, excellent defensive player, has a chance to be really special.
Here's Hill after the made shot from Dwayne Wade. Granger kicks to Hibbert. Soft touch off the glass. Hibbert's got his first points of the game.
Sharp pass to give his teammate the high percentage shot in close.
Outside Bosh. He feeds it to Wade.
Oh, ridiculous.
What a move.
Tore it down that time. Now that was pretty. That was just a nice-looking reverse jam right there.
Use the rim, Clark, to protect the ball, I think, too, a little bit.
Yeah, did a nice job with it.
Yeah, no question, Kevin. Great awareness and a terrific finish.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. Now here's West. Outside, George. He dishes it to Granger. Off target with the open look.
Really high-quality shot there, just a little off with his release.
That miss right there will definitely leave him shaking his head.
Wade dishes to Haslam. Back to Wade. No block shot. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
And as he has gained more experience in the league, Wade has taught himself to rely a bit more on his jump shot and a little less on attacking the rim. But still, you see his confidence really lies in his ability to attack the lane.
And Wade, still a player who thrives on getting in the lane, Clark, and for his career, under 30% from long range.
Yeah, you know, his jump shot is more of a mid-range weapon, quite honestly. He loves the bank shot, loves the floaters, and is always looking to get somebody in the air with that pump fake. And usually, more times than not, guys bite and he gets free throws.
He gets to the line, you're right. And George, here we go, and he gets it to go.
And the layup just gift wrapped right there. I mean, he had a clear path to the basket.
First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. James gets the screen from Bosch. Off the pick. It's hauled in by George.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Oh, man, he goes old school almost with the finger roll.
Heat up on 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Bosch sets the pick for Chalmers. The dish now to LeBron. And again, LeBron missing.
Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often.
Yeah, they're lucky that they didn't get burned on that one.
Hill, no good.
He's got a nice touch on that shot normally, but good defense there clogging the lane.
Hill against Wade. Haslam a screen on Granger. And he lobs it up, and it's Wade with the jam.
Incredible timing on the alley-oop.
He absolutely hammered it down.
And that's the play we're going to remember when this game is all said and done.
Indiana trailing here. Hibbert with the screen. Hill passes to Hibbert. Stolen by Bosch. Wade with it. Picked up by Hibbert. No good from Wade.
He was right there, but the defensive pressure forced that miss.
Well contested. That really made it a tough shot.
West, right side. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Well, you got to love the season from David West last year, coming off the ACL tear back in 2011. I think he's completely back as far as that injury is concerned. He was so good last year, particularly in the playoffs.
That free throw good from West. And David West, Clark, a locker room leader for the Pacers last season, helped lead them all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, and a guy I know that you greatly admire.
Oh, my goodness. Love the way he does his work. I call him Real Deal 21. There's nothing fluffy about what he gets done, and he's so smart and so savvy in how he approaches the game, and really a lion in the locker room for the Pacers. That's why that team was so tough in many ways, particularly defensively.
Now here's Wade. He's got 9. Drops the inside leaner. Wade's got 11 points.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
And so it's Indiana with it. They trail by 1. Hill against Chalmers. And David West, the bucket on the assist by George. Clark, a lot of give and take between these sides early.
Kevin, how about 6 lead changes in this half already?
Yeah, good one here. Guys, this is going to be fun to watch. 2 evenly matched teams, both teams playing hard.
Now here is Haslam. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Kicks it to Wade. Paul George with the steal. West up on top. Throws down the breakaway jam.
That's how you make an impact with defense. Once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered. The floor is open. Take care of business.
Yeah, that's right. So you push it. That's the best opportunity for points on the break. This lead, I think, is headed north.
Miami with the ball, following the score by Indiana. Bosch heads the pick for LeBron. Passes it to Haslam. And it's Wade penetrating. Kicks it out to LeBron. Just 5 to shoot. West with the steal. Down low, George. Good, the assist goes to Hill. And that's now 6 points here for George. The Heat trail by 5. James with it. Granger with the block. They get it back. And it's out of bounds to the Heat as Miami retains possession. And the Heat with some changes. Anderson comes in for Chris Bosh. And Shane Battier subbed in for Udonis Haslem. So it's Miami now. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Really left alone that time. And that's 13 points for Wade.
Boy, 6 for 8 shooting. He's rolling.
So timeout called here, the first for Indiana. Here's Hill. Feeds it to Stevenson. Chalmers against Hill. Shot is no good. Some solid defense from Battier. The feed to Wade. Lets it go from 14. And that one's good. Wade's got 15 points.
He's such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Hill kicks to Granger. Rejected by Battier. LeBron gets the screen from Battier. The drive by LeBron. That gives them the lead. James has got his first basket.
You know, Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra worked his way up from the very bottom in that organization to me. He got his start as a video coordinator, and through years of hard work and dedication, has really become an outstanding coach.
Here's Chalmers. Paul George making his last shot. Knocks it loose and is out of bounds. The Heat able to retain possession here. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Kevin, thank you. I caught up with Eric Spoelstra. I asked him where he thought they have an advantage in this game, and he said our shot blocking is one thing that really sets us apart. Now, we have to be solid all around, but that does help us quite a bit when it comes to sending away penetration and shot attempts inside. Kevin, never something you want to rely on, but always a great backup to have.
Okay, thank you, Doris. And the defensive approach, guys, how do you think that'll play out here?
I don't know, Kevin. I'm not sure they should be more focused on their opponent than they are on themselves.
That is sort of the way it sounds, Steve, but still, I don't think a defense-first mindset is ever a bad thing.
Here's Cole. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. And back to Coach Eric Spoelstra as a guy who got his start as a video coordinator, picking the game apart. Steve, he's very comfortable with the new advanced stat move analytics in the NBA.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to speak with him quite a bit. He says that the way they use advanced stats is just as a conversation piece in the coaching room. Their analytics department will bring them various information, and it will force them to ask questions, which is very healthy for a coaching staff to do.
Scoring-wise, a really sluggish start for him, guys. I mean, just 2 for 7 overall.
Watson dishes to Scola. Shot left block. Again, Indiana.
Back and forth we go. That basket gives us just another lead change.
And there have been too many of those to keep track of. What a contest.
Here's Cole. The drive by James. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Talking about Chris Anderson, guys, the Birdman. We weren't sure if he was going to be able to fly last season, but he did latch on with a very good Miami Heat team who was in need of some help rebounding, which is his strength. He still can do that and block shots as well.
First one falls for him. And the Birdman, a fan favorite from his days in Denver. The tattoos, his kinetic style of play, certainly drawing attention.
Well, he's an athletic presence inside at both ends of the floor. Defensively, he can slide his feet and block shots. And offensively, he's a guy who kind of hangs out on the weak side and finishes plays by catching and dunking.
He's perfect from the line this time.
And, you know, you talk about Frank Vogel, guys, and the Pacers. It seemed he won over his roster from the moment he took over. He placed a lot of confidence and trust in his players, and most importantly, brought a breath of positivity and positive energy to that locker room and to that team.
6 to shoot. Copeland the pass to Watson. Can't hit. Well, he go the other way with it.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
Here's LeBron. Great touch on the 16-footer. James has got 6. And back to Vogel, he really helped instill the identity of this Pacers team of toughness and defense, and Steve, that willingness to battle.
Yeah, it's a perfect fit with their personnel. The way he motivates this team to defend and play with that edge. I just love this group, the Pacers team, the talent, along with Frank Vogel. Just a really nice fit.
Here's Allen after the made shot from Watson, and he gets the bucket. And the Heat lead by 3.
Everybody on the floor is hot. Incredible stuff here in the early stages.
Tell you what, both teams playing downhill. Who's going to blink first?
Timeout called the Pacers.
Yeah, and guys, I think he feels like he can make a few improvements during this timeout. Just kind of make a couple of adjustments, get his club back on track.
You know, coaches are always tweaking and tinkering with things mid-game. Actually, sometimes they overdo it.
And so it's Indiana with it. It's a 3-point game. There's 1:54 left to play in the first quarter. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Anderson. And Cole kicks to Allen. Shot from 6. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. Now it's a 5-point Heat lead. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Heat.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
And the other thing they're doing is forcing a lot of turnovers, and that's helping them to get easy points at the other end.
Copeland dishes to Scola. Here is Watson. James covering. And the basket by Stevenson. 58 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Cole, the pass to LeBron. Dishes it to Anderson. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. James has got 3 assists now in this one.
Well, we've seen that more than a few times. An easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, the interior defense simply has been lifeless.
Watson with it, covered by Cole. There's the pass to Copeland. He kicks it to Scola. Great D that time from Anderson. The Heat leading by 5. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Hit his leg. And the ref's whistling a kick ball. And the Heat making a change here. Bosch is checked in. Here's Battier. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. And James gets it to go. And the Heat lead by 7.
That was the 3rd straight high percentage look this defense has allowed. I mean, these defenders have got to start bumping bodies in the paint. Be more physical, be more aggressive.
I agree, Clark, but it doesn't look like they have the will to do that at this moment.
Here's Scola, and that one's drained from the low block. 6 seconds left to play here in the first. The drive by James. Offense, the order of the day as the first quarter comes to a close. Heat out front, they lead by 5. We'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Heat?
Well, I'll tell you what, I like what I've seen from this club defensively. They're forcing a lot of turnovers with their quick hands and ability to play the passing lanes.
Well, you talk about quick hands, but I think it's the mindset of being aggressive and then obviously being active with the hands, tracing that ball where you can come up with deflection that may lead to steal. I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatics.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
I'm with you, Kevin. You can't fault him for that. I mean, just let him go. Who cares?
Here's Bosch following the score by Indiana. West with some nice D.
Pretty good defense there. I mean, that's a shot that he can make, but they really challenged him.
It's back to Hill. Haslam against Hibbert. Pass to George. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Back to Hibbert. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
When Hibbert came into the league, guys, everybody assumed he'd be a project, and that's been accurate. But projects can pay off, and to have a player with his size and work ethic and skill is a huge payday for the Pacers.
That free throw, no good. And going back to Hibbert, and Clark, you mentioned this, looked at as a project when he came in, taken with the 17th pick, Steve, back in 08 in a draft that you were involved with Phoenix.
Well, we took Robin Lopez at 14 because he just had much better mobility athletically. We were shocked that Hibbert could eventually develop the kind of speed and lateral quickness that he's done. So pretty impressive that he's put all this work in and defied his critics.
There's the dish to Haslam. Here's Wade. The Pacers pull it in.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Stevenson can't hit.
He was right there, but the defensive pressure forced that miss.
Well contested. That really made it a tough shot.
Wade seems to be slowing down just a touch, and the difficulty as you get older when you're not a great jump shooter, which Wade is not, is that the defenses will back off you. And that's the big challenge now for Dwayne Wade, adjusting to that newer style of defense that he's going to be looking at.
The first one falls. And, Steve, you go back to the strong output for Dwayne Wade last season for the 4th time. In his career, he averaged over 20 points and 5 rebounds and 5 assists a game. Clark, one of only 4 players in the league last season to hit that mark.
And, Kevin, he led all shooting guards in player efficiency rating for the 5th consecutive season. Some might argue, but the numbers speak truth. He's the best shooting guard in the game. Nice numbers from D. Wade. He has 17 points. He's contributed 3 points from the line, too.
Yeah, those are always easy points. I mean, when you can get to the line and knock them down, sometimes that's the difference in the game, Clark.
Now, here is Hill. Pass to George. Here's the 3. And it's D. Wade with the rebound. The Heat leading by 4. Pulls it from the elbow. And again, it's the Heat missing.
And you know why he was open there. They didn't commit too much defense to him, and you can see why. He has trouble making that shot.
Now, here's Stevenson. Defended by Chalmers. Stevenson can't hit. For Miami, they've gone 0-3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second quarter. Takes the 13-footer. Wade gets the bucket. Wade's got 4 this quarter.
And he's made the most of his chances, hasn't he? He really needs to continue to work for those good looks.
Hill with it. Now guarded by Mario Chalmers. West, right side. It's tipped. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Well, gentlemen, head coach Eric Spoelstra of the Miami Heat finally getting the respect he deserves now with their multiple championships. But his players, not afraid to rib him a little. Dwayne Wade said Spoelstra's favorite word, focus. He said, here's what it sounds like to play for my coach. Come on, guys, we have to focus. Next game. Come on, guys, it's about focus. Game 82. Guys, it's about focus. Kevin, it's all about that consistent message, right?
A steady hand, Doris. The players seem to really appreciate him. And the Pacers call time here.
Well, really the heart and soul of this Miami team in a lot of ways, Udonis Haslem, born and raised in Miami. He's played his entire decade-long career with the Heat and just a tough, hard-working guy and a locker room leader.
Chris Anderson has checked in for Miami. And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in this second quarter of play. West with the ball, now guarded by Haslem. West kicks to Stevenson. And that one's on target from the wing. Stevenson's got 6. And back to Haslem. He helped lift the Florida Gators program back to prominence. Took them all the way to the NCAA championship game, playing at center of all positions.
It was really heavy back then at Florida. He had to lose a lot of weight before he was ready to play in the NBA. Went to Europe to play first. He's been the heart and soul of the Heat organization ever since.
Allen. No luck, they battled on the glass, but couldn't knock it down. Pacers trail by 8. And it's Hill penetrating. And it's Wade with the rebound. Wade's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Lets it fly from 18. And misses it off the right side of the rim. For Indiana, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field in the second quarter so far. Kicks it to Stevenson. Hill dishes to Hibbert. Indiana moving the ball around. Here's George. Hits the jump hook. George has got 4 points in the quarter.
You know, he's knocking down his shots today, but it hasn't really translated to the scoreboard yet.
Wade gets a screen from Haslem. And it's Wade penetrating. The turnaround. And that one's good. Wade's got 23 points.
You know, he's putting on an outstanding offensive display, and he may just be getting warmed up here.
That's good, and the Heat lead is cut down now to just 6 in the basket from Stevenson.
Well, he's so good at recognizing where the openings are and getting the ball to the rim.
Chalmers against Hill. And Chalmers kicks to Haslem. One-on-one here. Here's West. Nice pass, nice catch, and a resounding dunk.
Well, they won't be down for long if they can get some more early offense just like that.
Well, that's the best way to get that early offense, Clark. As soon as you come up with a steal, just sprint the other direction.
Now, here's Chalmers. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change.
Boy, with 2 fouls now, he really has to be disciplined and under control for the rest of this half.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Shane Battier is checked in for Haslem. And it's LeBron in for Allen. And it's Hill penetrating. No luck. Some solid defense from Battier. Miami leading by 4. And the foul goes on Roy Hibbert. That's foul number 2 for him.
I like the call. I thought the defense was moving there.
Yeah, I think he slid underneath. Good blocking call that trip.
And some changes here for the Pacers. Luis Scola, he's checked in for Hibbert. And it's Granger in for David West. Here's Battier. James outside. Battier kicks to Anderson. And Scola with the block. Outside Hill. Rebound by the Heat. Wade's got 5 rebounds tonight.
The Heat have magnificent talent, but even coming off an NBA title, they had never put their name into the conversation of the great team until last spring when they went on that amazing 27-game winning streak.
Now here is Hill. after the miss from Anderson. Hill kicks to Granger. The fader. And good on the basket. Book it.
The entire defense was frozen-footed. Nobody picked up the shooter, Kevin.
The Heat with the lead. And for the Heat, they were staring right at the 72 Lakers win record, and I'm sure everyone remembers, but ultimately they would fall, Steve, to the Bulls after 27 consecutive wins.
Yeah, that streak to me was one of the great feats in NBA history. Winning 27 games in a row in the regular season, so difficult, but it showed you what the Heat were made of. They really were battling every night, and I thought that put them on a great run heading into the playoffs.
Here is Hill after Danny Granger's bucket. 6 to shoot. Anderson with the block. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. The Heat making a switch here. It's a neck-and-neck game here in Indiana. And Cole kicks to Anderson. Passes it to Wade. Trying to get back on track. That's good. Wade's got 25 points in the game.
He's just been the man since the start of this quarter. And just a tremendous period of basketball for him.
Watson kicks to Scola. And it's good.
Well, they've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
Well, and that's why they're on this run, guys. They're getting the ball inside and getting really high percentage looks.
Now here's James. He's got 8. He feeds it to Wade. A baseline J. That's good. Wade's got 12 points now in the quarter.
The more touches he gets, the more this lead will grow. He has just been unconscious this quarter.
Watson with it. Now defended by Cole. Here is Watson. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Watson's got his second best. James kicks to Cole. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And folks, what an outstanding array of talent we've got here. Just look at the list for all-time career scoring average. Jordan and Chamberlain and LeBron.
And, of course, those guys were much more than just scorers, Kevin. They were winners, champions. But, you know, as you work your way up that list, no question, that is elite company.
That free throw, no good.
You know, in order to win your division, you have to be able to win games against the rest of your conference, and that's exactly what Indiana did last season. A tough team in a tough division, and they gave no ground to other teams in the East.
Chris Bosh has checked in for Miami. He doesn't get the second one. And the Pacers, as you mentioned, Clark, very solid against the other teams in the East as they would cruise to a 31-20 record against the rest of the conference.
And really, that's because this team is built to handle anything that's thrown at them. Kevin, it's a big, strong, kind of old-school team. They'll pound you inside, they rebound, they protect the paint. There aren't a lot of matchups that seem to bother this team. You know, something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound totals are almost identical.
No separation there, not yet anyway. You know, Miami went to that smaller lineup last season, and a big change in that was having Chris Bosh move over to the 5 spot. Not his natural position, but I thought he held his own both offensively and defensively playing in the middle.
Free throw good. Bosh. And for Bosh, playing the center, Steve, he's giving up some weight out there.
But he's a very smart defender. He avoids fouls. And you know, the way the league is these days, Kevin, most teams play smaller. And Bosh can normally find a center that he can guard without too much trouble. But there are a few matchups around the league that are a problem.
Well, they got the speed and the pressure of that Miami defense. You think they're able to compensate for any lack of size inside by using those other things.
Yeah, that's normally the case against, I would say, the vast majority of the league.
For Miami, they've gone 6 of 14 shooting here in the second. Feeds to Cole. Cole off the pick from Batty. Here's Cole. Just 5 to shoot. Three-pointer. Wade. But they get it back. Battier kicks to Cole. He dishes it to Bosch. And Luis Scola gets the whistle that time.
Already he's looking at his third foul. I think the coach will probably look to sit him down until the third quarter.
Well, coming off a title last year, you always wonder if a team will maybe relax a little bit. They usually won't admit to it, but Chris Bosh readily said it at times that his team had a difficult time lighting that fire again.
Free throw good. Bosh. And so Bosh nails both of them. Pacers trail by 4. There's a minute 47 left in the second quarter. A fadeaway. Granger misses. And to go back to what Bosh said, I think that is true for every team, Clark, that comes off a championship, but they usually don't admit it like Bosh did.
Well, you know what? Once you've won it all, there is a bit of a relief and a little malaise that may settle over you, but I've always respected Bosh's candor. He's a guy who doesn't bite his tongue, and he articulates what he feels. And I think it's impressive that they fought back to the finals once more, because that shows they eventually did recapture that fire.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Well, gentlemen, despite what you might have heard from the talking heads, it was another great season for D. Wade. Last season, leading all shooting guards in player efficiency rating. A natural slasher, he's adjusted brilliantly to playing without the ball in his hands. Coach Eric Spoelstra said, quote, the evolution of his game has been stark in terms of added weapons and dimensions over the years. His development in that post-up game has allowed that to happen. His movement and cutting off the ball tripled what it used to be. That took an understanding and an IQ of how to get involved when the ball wasn't in his hands. Guys, the great ones always find a way.
They definitely do. Thanks, Doris. There's the feed to Cole. James kicks to Wade. And that one is stuffed right through.
I tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I think he did plenty of damage anyway. It was only with one hand, but he threw it down pretty hard.
Fader on the way. Again, Scola missing.
Did you see his balance there, guys? Really faded away. I think that's why he missed.
And we've reached halftime in this one. Heat lead by 9. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Dwayne, give us your perspective on that first half.
I like the way we started the game. You know, sometime on the road we start off slow, so I thought we got to the fight early. And it's two good teams, so, you know, it's the way it should be.
Dwayne, thank you. Always fun to watch. Guys, over to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And folks, stay right where you are for the halftime show. Then we'll be back for the start of the second half in the third quarter.
Now, presented by Sprint.
And coming your way now, the Monday edition of our halftime show. Let's get it started. Miami up on top against Indiana. They've done a great job closing out their defensive possessions, grabbing boards, great rebounding. D. Wade was phenomenal in the first half. Seems like everything's falling for him. Not sure if he even knows how to miss. On the Pacers side of things, they managed to hang around. No surprise, they've had some high-flying rejections, something they're good at. An unbelievable half from Paul George. He's got 12 points, and in addition to that, he's been a factor on the glass as well. Couple of helpers, too. And that'll wrap things up for me here in the studio. Second half is just around the corner. Thanks so much for stopping by.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
We welcome you back to Indianapolis, Indiana, the Circle City, as we continue. Dwayne Wade really has his fingerprints all over this one.
It didn't take long to see what kind of game he was going to have today. He came out very aggressively and had a terrific first half.
You know, you look at his shot chart, it's all graped up. I mean, he's right at the rim. He's driving the lane again and again.
And Mario Chalmers gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
Tough break for the defense. He took the heat and drew the whistle.
Yep, but when you get there late, that's what happens.
It's George on the wing. James covering. George passes to Hill. Indiana moving the ball over. Here's West, 6 to shoot, and he drops it in from the low post. West has got the first points to start out the third quarter for the Pacers. Chalmers against Hill. Chalmers dishes to Bosch. And Haslam kicks to Bosch.
Well, you allow them to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, I think you got to foul them, and free throws are better than a layup.
The Heat have shot 9 of 11 at the free throw line.
And you look at the numbers from a year ago, guys, this is a club that hit about 75% of its free throws.
First free throw is good. So he gets them both. Pacers trail by 9. Hill kicks it to West. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. And that's 12 points for David West.
Intelligent passing there to make that hoop possible.
The drive by James. That drops. And the Heat lead by 9.
You know, it's not so much that the Heat score a lot of points. It's just that they score them in spurts. And it almost is a surprise when they end the possession without scoring or getting an easy shot. So good at spacing the floor and moving the ball.
Hill, and there are the Pacers with another bucket.
Up and in on every one of their first 3 shots to start the second half.
The Heat leading by 7. Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. Wade passes to Haslam. And that'll be Miami as it goes out of bounds. The Heat retain possession. And Clark, just as you said, the Heat just so efficient offensively. Made about half their shots they took on the year and ended up with the best shooting percentage, Steve, in the NBA.
Well, it was all about floor spacing and LeBron, Kevin. They put shooters everywhere, but LeBron and Wade would attack, and they had really good flow and movement with the ball. I think over time now, given this team 3 years now, it's one of the best offenses in the league.
Now Wade, after LeBron's three-pointer that didn't go. The shot is off. West with some nice D. Got a piece of it, and stolen by LeBron. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat.
Oh, how about that, basketball fan?
Beautiful.
Wow.
Tell you what, LeBron can absolutely soar in for the finish. I remember last year, the alley-oop in the conference finals against Indiana just almost put his head on the rim.
Air freight is a nickname we could dub LeBron James. I mean, he's an unstoppable force and an immovable object. Defensively, the strength, length, mobility. He can wall you up and lock you down and put you away.
5 to shoot. Granger dishes to West. From about 19 feet. No good. And Miami the other way now. Now Chalmers. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And it's Paul George with the foul. That's his first foul. And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
Yeah, he definitely saw some things that were not working for them out there. And now he's going to make some adjustments.
I'm not sure what it was, but he clearly wanted something to change out there.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Eric Spoelstra address his team. It's their lack of points in transition that has him mainly concerned. They need to be pushing it, he said, creating more opportunities for easy points in the fast break. He also wants them using a fundamental offensive approach. Specifically, he'd like to see them running the pick and roll as often as they can. Probably a good time to make some changes with a good chunk of the second half still to go, Kevin.
All right, Doris. And yes, sir, that one drops.
And their interior defense getting exposed once again. How many open looks at the rim are they going to allow?
Timeout called the Pacers.
A lot of people picked the Heat to run away with the East last year, and they were right on target. They were just so far and away better than any other team in the East that you just didn't see them losing much during the course of the season.
Heat on D. They lead by 11, the largest margin of the game. Dishes it to Granger. The pass to Hill. Count the bucket. Hill's got 6. As you said, the Heat clinched the East pretty early and were able to rest up a lot of their players down the stretch. Steve, never easy to win when everyone expects you to win games, but the Heat didn't stop.
Mark it up.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying Clark to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, Mark?
Well, you know what the questions are about now. It's their defense, that's for sure.
After signing the big contract, a lot was expected from Roy Hibbert last season, and he put a little pressure on himself, but he also had a wrist injury, got off to a slow start, and didn't find his groove until the calendar turned to 2013.
Free throw, good. Hibbert. And for Hibbert, first-time All-Star in 2012. His slow start cost him a shot, I think, to repeat as an All-Star last season. That was after he signed the big contract, too, with the Pacers.
Yeah, but he sure recovered well because in the second half of the season and the playoffs, he was one of the best players in the NBA. In fact, gave Miami all kinds of troubles in the East Conference Finals.
That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2.
Well, if the Pacers wanted to grab the attention of the league with their postseason play, they certainly did that. They marched through the first 2 rounds by knocking off the Hawks and the Knicks. And, boy, remember, they were a game away from the NBA Finals.
Pacers trail by 12. And here is Hill. 6 points for him. Granger left side. Trains it from 9 feet away. Granger's got 6. Ultimately, the Pacers would fall to the Heat, but they put them to the test. I don't think there's any doubt about that. They gained respect league-wide even more than they had going into the playoffs. It took 7 games, Clark, and you saw them all, which a lot of folks didn't see coming.
I know that's the case, and yet the way the Pacers showed such grit in that series, it indicates they can compete with anybody. And you have a defensive anchor like they do in Roy Hibbert, they've got a chance to be a championship team before long.
Such a solid performance for them inside. Their rebounding has been terrific.
Yeah, that's just one of the few things that have gone their way today. Great awareness by Mario Chalmers on that feed.
The Pacers making a switch here. Stevenson's checked in. And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for Miami.
Well, I got to say, one thing that stuck out all game is the consistent penetration they've gotten.
And they're getting the ball inside, which is what I like. High percentage shots down on the block and in the paint area.
Here's Hibbert. Good on the short little jump shot. Hibbert's got 6 points.
That's what has to happen if they're going to turn this thing around. He's got to take charge. He's got to be aggressive and really look to push here offensively.
And Anderson slams it in.
His eyes just simply light up when he gets that close to the bucket. And you just know what he's going to do with the basketball.
Pacers trail by 14. Now here's Stevenson. He's got 8 on the wing, George. And a miss there on the triple. For Miami, they've gone 8 of 10 shooting here in the second half. Very strong. Here's Chalmers, and he finishes nicely on the layup. Chalmers has got his first bucket in this one.
And they're beginning to fall apart a little bit defensively, especially inside.
Well, that's 4 straight buckets now at the rim.
And George kicks to Stevenson. Indiana moving the ball away. Here's West. Excellent D there from Haslem.
Great defense in the paint there, making it tough on the offense.
That's what he brings, a presence. I mean, you saw it on that miss.
Banked in off the glass. And it's 6 points for Ray Allen.
And the shooting percentage continues to climb, guys, here in the second half. They're on fire.
Steve, I like the collective focus since halftime. Good team basketball resulting in high-quality shots.
Here's Granger. Drops it in from 11 feet. Granger's got 8. And Miami has possession. James with it. He's got 20. Anderson right side. And it's out of bounds to the Heat as Miami retains possession. And some changes here for the Heat. Shane Battier is checked in for Anderson. And Cole subbed in for Udonis Haslem. And it's on its way from Chalmers for 2. Finds himself wide open and drills it.
They ran that inbounds play perfectly there to get the quick hitter.
Here is Watson, guarded by Cole. Kicks it out to Granger. Stolen away. LeBron James on the wing. Open and close and nails it. LeBron's got 14 points here in the second half.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 points coming from inside the painted area.
Yep, that's something that the defense has to put a stop to. Maybe a defensive adjustment is necessary here.
Watson, the pass to George. Clock at 6. Granger misses.
Well, it's the edge they've had in that area on the glass that's played a big role in this game.
Yeah, they've got some strong guys, Steve. Guys that are strong and well put together, and they've used that strength to their advantage down low.
Steps back and shoots. The shot by George, no good. The Heat leading by 20. Allen outside. It's up a 3, and that one's good. Allen's got 5 points in the quarter.
They've been splashing home those threes since halftime.
Definitely a big improvement in their shooting from what we saw before the break.
Battier against Scola. On the wing, Granger. Outside, George. Indiana again missing. That's tipped and stolen by James. James left side. Fades back. Pacers with the rebound. Scola's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Watson dishes to Stevenson. Outside, George. He kicks it to Scola. And they get it. And stolen by Chalmers. Pass to Battier. LeBron outside. Stolen by Stevenson. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. That's on LeBron James.
It's been a good one for Stevenson. He has 8 points, and he's been a good on-the-ball defender, too. He's got a pair of steals.
Yeah, he's made some heads-up plays, Clark. He's done a really nice job defensively.
No good on that one.
Well, Indiana's success last season was built around its defensive prowess, and they usually would set the tone at the start of the game. They were one of the best in the league at allowing the fewest first quarter points.
Chris Bosch is checked in for Mario Chalmers. And the second free throw, good. Going back to the Pacers once more, you knew they wanted to emphasize defense each game, and Steve, they would always come out and get right in the offensive player's face to start the game.
And they allow the fewest first quarter points of any team in the league last year, Kevin. That's a great way to kind of set the tempo, set the tone in a ball game. And the Pacers were able to establish that defense right away.
Watson kicks to Stevenson. Granger, a screen on Allen. There's the dish to Scola. And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession. Wade, he's checked in for James.
Into the lineup, Dwayne Wade.
1:57 left in the third. Bosch sets the pick for Wade. Cole, the pass to Wade. Kicks to Cole. Just 5 on the clock. Rebounded by Granger. Granger's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Here is Watson, defended by Cole. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, Miami stormed through the regular season and were viewed as the clear-cut favorites to come out of the East, but it was not as easy as expected. After sweeping Milwaukee, the Bulls gave them a scare. Then the Pacers really took them deep all the way to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Free throw drops for Watson. And for the Heat, the Pacers were their first real test, it seemed, and they had to survive a win or go home against them. It almost seemed, Clark, to take away any momentum they might have had when they went up against the Spurs in the finals.
You know, it's interesting. When I think of momentum in the playoffs, it doesn't carry over from game to game or series to series. I think each game, Kevin, is really an entity in and of itself. That said, Miami found a way, despite being pushed by the Pacers and being pushed by the Spurs, both to Game 7. It came down to LeBron James's brilliance, but also the hot shooting of a complimentary role-playing winner, Shane Battier. D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Hill dishes to Scola.
Well, George Hill, one of those unique stories, playing with his hometown Indiana Pacers. He's a native of Indianapolis and Broad Ripple High School, was drafted by the Spurs, played in their system for 3 years out in San Antonio, and was acquired by the Pacers in a draft day trade back in 2011, and it's worked out well for both teams.
And the first one at the line is good. And prior to last season, the Pacers signing George Hill to a 5-year, $40 million extension.
He's a good player, a really good combo guard, can shoot it well from distance, can run a team. Maybe not a traditional point guard, but somebody who can help you win. I think it was a good move for the Pacers.
And Cole kicks to Bosch. Pass to Allen. And yes, sir, that one drops. Allen's got 11 points.
Good defense, but you gotta love the finish with the finger roll over the top.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Here's Watson. Shot is off. Good D by Wade.
Tough D on the inside.
Put up a roadblock, a construction barrel right there. That's what he brings defensively.
he banks in the layup. Wade's got 31.
Now they've gotten something out of just about every possession, and their defense has been just as good. Masterful performance across the board.
As we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Himmy's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Cole, the pass to Anderson. He feeds it to Cole. Lewis against West, just 5 on the clock. On its way from Beasley for 2. Pacers with the rebound. Here is Watson. And he gets it to go. Watson's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for the Pacers.
Boy, nice work inside. Tough to get that shot over a big defender like that.
Oh, that takes skill and creativity, Steve, particularly on the release to make sure he doesn't get a hand on it.
David West. That's his first personal foul. Shooting for Miami. Rashard Lewis. Taking 2 shots.
No good on that one. And the second free throw, good. Pacers shooting 49% on the game. They'll take that. On the wing, Hill. There's the steal. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. Cole got the ball. And it's Beasley finishing it off.
I'd say that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, it sure did. A good job getting it started and a better job finishing it off.
Johnson dishes to West. Stolen by Lewis. Wade outside. Passes it to Beasley. Feeds to Anderson. Puts it up, and the Heat get another bucket right there.
Defensively, I think they've got to do a better job of bodying them up.
Yeah, they're getting outclassed in the paint at both ends, really.
Wade against Johnson. Anderson with the block. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. I mean, defensively, the wind has just been knocked out of their sails.
Need to get more bodies committed down low.
West, that's good.
That's how to orchestrate for your teammate. Terrific pass.
For Miami, they've gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the fourth. And Cole kicks to Lewis. The feed to Wade. Wade left side. Here's Cole. No luck. Great D that time from Watson. For Indiana, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. West inside. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. Here's Lewis. No good off the front iron. And here's Watson. The drive by Hill. Shot denied. And they're able to recover. On the wing, Johnson. Wade is covering. Shot clock at 6. West passes to Johnson. It's stolen by Wade. Lewis on top. He's covered by Watson. Lewis dishes to Beasley. Wade kicks to Anderson. The shot is off, so Indiana will take it the other way. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Left side West. From about 19 feet. And it's D. Wade with the rebound.
Well, that was not a smart play there. That's a wild shot. They can get something better.
No, that's not smart basketball. He should have passed that shot up.
Here's Watson. Solid defense there from Cole. Miami's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Beasley. Excellent D there from Hill.
Not too much congestion in the lane. I think he could have gotten a better shot that time, no question.
Johnson against Lewis. Here's Himmy. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Well, Himmy wasn't a big name when he became a free agent a few years back. But, you know, the Indiana Pacers saw enough in him that they were willing to offer up to a 4-year deal for Jan to be the backup center.
And he can't get the first one. And kind of an interesting trade for the Pacers for Himmy. You know, you could have signed him outright, but chose to trade Darren Collison to Dallas in that sign and trade with the Mavs. Himmy was an important player for the Pacers, as we saw backing up Hibbert.
He was good, but, you know, it would have been nice for them to keep Collison and sign Himmy. I thought they needed some depth at the point guard spot, particularly in that playoff run.
Good on the second free throw. For Miami, they've gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter. Cole, the pass to Beasley. But they recover it. Dishes it to Cole. Wade outside. The pass to Cole to stop the drought. That falls. Nice speed that time from Dwayne Wade. Wade's got 3 assists in the game. Watson with it. Now guarded by Anderson. Here's Copeland. Johnson outside. Shot clock at 6. And that one's good.
Not much the defense can do once he gets to the bucket.
For Miami, they've gone 4 of 10 here in the final period. Not the time to go Cole. Here's Cole. It's hauled in by Watson. Watson's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. There's the killer 2-handed slam.
Gotta love the use of the bounce pass there. Perfect feed.
Miami's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. Beasley kicks to Haslam. He dishes it to Wade. Beasley outside. 5 to shoot. He trains it as the shot clock ticks down. Now Watson. He kicks it to Hibbert. Got a piece of it. T. Wade on the wing. He's guarded by Copeland. Cole dishes to Haslam. Kicks it out to Beasley. And it's Miami with another.
Well, he found the open man on the perimeter and got the ball to him.
The Pacers shooting it well here in the fourth quarter. 50%. And here's Watson. Pass to Copeland. He's looking for Himmy and finds him. And that one's good.
All the points these defenders are allowing inside is inexcusable. That's 5 baskets in a row, and they've all been practically lay-ins.
Yeah, they've got to harden and toughen up down there, guys.
And this is why you need size inside, the ability to contest shots and force misses.
Steve, that's exactly right. Even when you get in close, it's still a tough shot.
Johnson with it. Wade picks him up. And it's blocked by Anderson. And there it is again. Nice make there from Himmy.
Nicely done. They just continue to dominate inside. That's 10 points in a row in the lane.
It's now purely here it comes. See if you can stop it.
And Haslam kicks to Cole. Beasley outside. Cole the pass to Beasley. Shot clock at 6. And the rebound goes to the Pacers. Hibbert's got his 4th rebound in this one. And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession.
That's a major mental mistake. I mean, there's no other way for me to describe it. He didn't know where he was on the court. That's a basic fundamental. You have to be alert to where you are.
Shane Battier is checked in for Miami. Allen comes in for Dwayne Wade. Miami's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. Cole dishes to Haslam. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam. Clark, I'm guessing that wasn't the plan for the D on that trip.
And I'm agreeing with you there. Once they opened the lane up for him, that was a little emphasis on that finish.
Take what the defense gives you and then just power it home, right? Why not?
Watson kicks to Mahinmi. Now the dish to Watson. That's good.
C.J. Watson.
The Heat have gone 7 of 16 from the field here in the 4th. That's about 43%. And Cole kicks to Allen. Here's Cole. He's covered by Watson. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Shooting for Miami, Norris Cole. Taking 2 shots.
And that one falls for Cole. Luis Scola. He's checked in for Ian Mahinmi. No good on the second free throw.
He's made a name for himself in the league as being one of the best undersized 4s out there, guys. I mean, Luis Scola can go up against somebody who's much taller than him and still find a way to pump fake his way to a hoop.
Watson for 3. Miami grabs the miss. Anderson's got his 8th rebound here tonight. Allen passes to Haslam. That's good. Haslam's got 4 points this quarter.
Intelligent passing there to make that hoop possible.
And Indiana shooting 49% on the game. They'll take that. And Scola, Steve, at 6'9", not the biggest or most athletic player, certainly on the floor, but he does a good job on the glass. He seems to be a very solid player.
And he plays very physically, on defense. He's not afraid to get into you. Probably struggles to defend the more athletic players, but I think Scola is one of the smarter, savvier players we have in this league.
He's having quite the quarter here, guys. I mean, shooting the ball extremely well.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
I got to find something, you're right. The 3 from Johnson. And it's Miami with the rebound. To the wing on the left. Haslam dishes to Cole. Kicks it out to Allen. Shot clock at 6. He feeds it to Cole. From deep three-point range, the rebound by Johnson. Johnson's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Here's Watson. Good, and it's Johnson with the assist that time.
That's the way to work the ball in close to the hoop, guys.
Miami's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the 4th. Here's Cole. He's covered by Watson. 1:24 left in the game. And Cole kicks to Anderson, and he makes good on the layup.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Miami.
Agreed, Steve, and as one-sided as it gets today. You know, Clark, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
You're right, Kevin. It's hard to think of anything that didn't go right for them. I mean, game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was spot on.
It always takes someone stepping up, and that happened here as we got great numbers for Wade. Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do anything, really, to stop him.
Indiana's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Johnson kicks to Scola. 13 feet away. That one a little long. Miami's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the three ball here. Here's Cole. He's covered by Watson. Back to Allen. Allen left side. And stolen by Scola.
Yeah, no way you can come back from this deficit.
Just not enough time left on the clock.
Releases. Copeland good. 9 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Cole. And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play, they showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
LeBron, tell us about this team's approach defensively and how you felt the team played in that aspect.
It's a tough team to guard off the bounce. They're so athletic, they're so quick, but that's a good job by all of us defensively, and it's always good to get a win on the road.
It takes all 5 guys to guard. Thank you, LeBron. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, Doris, for that. And now for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan saying see you next time as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Dwayne Wade.